VPN. I'm trying to use the VPN of mine in the University of Oslo, and it's not being connected. I will be there in a second.
Okay, right. Okay, you try it. Okay, just to try it. We'll wait for another 5 minutes. No problem. You can just try it. Right.
No, I think it won't take that long. I think it's in 1 minute or so.
Okay.
It's running.
Right, no problem. I will wait for 5 minutes.
Sorry for delay. Sorry.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Hamid is trying to join because he has some issue on the Zoom. That is from his country. Zoom is actually not allowed. So for that reason, he has some problems. So anyway, he's joining. He is taking another options from his other institutions of Norway through which he is trying to. So we'll wait for another 2-3 minutes.
Yes, sir, we'll wait.
We will wait for Dr. Hamid also. And in the meantime, I think that some people have joined. Yeah. Dr. Mangala is here, no? Dr. Mangala?
Yes, sir. Dr. Mangala ma'am is there.
Dr. Mangala? This is Dr.
Yes,
Kushal. This is Dr.
Yes,
Kushal.
Dr. Das. Yes, hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. How are you? And how is your country now?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
good.
love to see you. Yes, fantastic. Yes. So how is going on? COVID going on in Colombo?
Yes, it's the situation is the same, but the curfew that is lifted and also the lockdown areas now it's open, so we are getting on.
Okay, you are getting quite good number. Is it Colombo? Colombo is having higher than the Kandy?
Yes, yeah.
This is always because this is one of the hypotheses. Natalia Zubieta, she's from the La Paz. She's here and she'll be happy because we have a joint publications in the high altitude prevents COVID. And that is published recently because our illustrious father, Gustavo. So she'll be very happy that Kandy is a high altitude for all of you others to know. It's a lovely place. It is something like our Darjeeling or Uti. It is like that way. And beautiful Buddhist temple, tooth relic is there.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So you have visited those?
Yeah, I visited 2012 when I went to you.
Yeah. I can remember.
Yeah, I went to University of Peradeniya also. Only I could not go to Nuri Elia, that is Sita's birthplace. The Sita's birthplace.
Right. Okay.
We went nearby, the tea gardens and all, we passed through it, but not exactly the same place. But Kandy, I love very much. I love
Kandy, the environment is nice and the beautiful surroundings and all those things are very nice. Nicer than Colombo. Yes.
Yeah, nicer than Colombo, but Colombo is a very clean and beautiful city. But Kandy is a different. Kandy different. Galley is different. They are different types. But Kandy is really beautiful. The big lake where the small water flyer, the flight goes, no, they get down. That
is waterfalls.
No, not waterfalls. That is the lake. Big lake is there nearby Buddhist relic. That Buddhist temple, the big lake.
Right. Okay.
That lake, small flight land on the lake only. Water flyer.
Right. Okay. So yeah. Water.
Yes. We enjoyed that also. Oh, Dr. Hamid has come. Thank you, Dr. Hamid. Professor.
Hello. Do you hear me?
Yes, you are visible and audible.
Sorry for my delay. It's lots of problem with this communication. I'm sorry that I kept you waiting for about 5 minutes. I'm sorry for that.
No mention. And now I like to Dr. Jyoti, who is the coordinator of the research club. Dr. Jyoti, you are here?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Yeah. Dr. Jyoti,
hello.
I like to tell. Professor Mangala Gunatelaki, today's speaker and chairperson of the talk, Professor Hamid, are available here, both of them. Now we can start. I'm seeing Dr. Gustavo also from bed. He might have got up and hi, Gustavo. So
good morning.
Good afternoon from India. Yeah.
30 a.m.
Your good friend Dr. Hamid is also here as a chairman.
I saw him. Hello, Hamid. I talked to him 2 days ago.
How are you? The world is not that big anymore.
Yes. The world is very small. We routinely visit, and Now I request Dr. Jyoti to start the program.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I, Dr. Jyoti Khodnapur, Associate Professor, Department of Physiology. Welcome. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. M.S. Biradar, sir, BLD deemed to be University. Dean Faculty of Medicine, Dr. Arvind Patil, sir, Registrar, Vice Principal, and Head Department of Physiology, Dr. Sumangla Patil. And also welcome today's Research Club's Chairperson, Hamid Mubasir, sir, and Professor Dr. Gustavo Zubeta, and all other participants for today's Research Club meet. And I also heartily welcome Dr. Mangala Gunatilake ma'am for today's Research Club meet. Now I request Dr. Sumangla Patil, Head Department of Physiology, to kindly introduce our today's guest speaker, Professor Mangala Gunatilake.
Very good afternoon to you all. I take this pleasure, sir, to introduce today's resource speaker, Mangala Gunatilake. She's a professor and having 27 years of experience as an academic attached to Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo. She is a joint secretary of the South Asian Association of Physiologists since 2012. And she was appointed as a review team member of the Advances in Physiology Education journal published by American Physiological Society and a member of Education Commission of Federation of Asian Ocean Physiological Societies in 2020. She also received as the president of the Physiological Society of Sri Lanka in the year 2009 and 2010. So here I present Professor Mangala Gunatilake, today's resource person. I would like to introduce briefly about my department to all the distinguished professors who are present here. And this is my pleasure to introduce that our Department of Physiology is having 3 full-time professors and 1 distinguished professor, Professor Kushal Das sir, and 5 associate professors, and 2 assistant and 1 postgraduate and 1 postdoctoral fellow. And we are also running the courses of curriculum MD, PhD, and MSc, MBBS along with MBBS. And 2 specialized laboratories are there under Department of Physiology. One is Laboratory of Vascular Physiology and Medicine, which is part of UNESCO Unit Twin network team and is having a postdoc fellow, and 5 PhDs from our own department have trained under distinguished Professor Kushal Das sir. And we are having total publications of 68 in 5 years. And that comes to 1 publication per month in Scopus journals. And also department is having government projects like DRDO and Inspire DST, VGST from Government of Karnataka. And we are having 1 more specialized lab, that is Center for Yoga and Exercise Sciences, which is having a memorandum of understanding with the Morarji Desai Institute of Yoga Science, New Delhi, Government of India. So this is brief about my department. Now I request distinguished Professor Kushal Das sir to briefly enlighten us about the vascular laboratory. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sumangala. Thank you very much, Dr. Jyoti. It is my privilege to say just a few words about the Research Club. You might have noticed that this is the Research Club of Department of Physiology, B.M. Patil Medical College, Hospital and Research Center under BLD deemed to be University, which is hosting today's program. This Research Club we have initiated and started on 2017 January onward, non-stop, except 1 or 2 exceptions for COVID reasons. We are continuously conducting monthly, every month, last day or last Saturday, we conduct a research meeting in an informal way, the chatting way. But now we have actually started online due to COVID. So where we discuss, invite one of the speaker, distinguished speaker from India and abroad, and listen her talk. So this month of January, Dr. Mangala Gunatilake, one of the renowned medical education expert in physiological sciences and distinguished persons, herself and she will be giving the talk, a very important talk. This research club concept is basically from the UK, when I was the student, and also when I was working in University of Leeds. It is first research club in the world. Probably it is in 1886, established in the University College of London, under University of London, and which still there. And when I went several times, whenever I go to London, I visit the research club, because it is a history of some of the great peoples like Alexander Fleming, or it is the founder, one of the founding member was a renowned physiologist, that is Sherrington, Charles Sherrington was a member. This research club actually produces more than dozens of Nobel laureates, including Sherrington himself and Alexander Fleming itself. So memory of that and thinking that to inspire, we have actually started. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. M.S. Biradar sir, and former Vice Chancellor, Dr. B.G. Mulimuni, were instrumental to support this. And later we got all support and encouragement by current Dean of Faculty of Medicine, Dr. Arvind Patil. And it is one of the program curriculum under university's academic calendar. So this is an important part of the university at the moment. This is the brief about that. I now hand over it to Jyoti to start the program. Dr. Jyoti.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Professor Mangala Gunathilake ma'am to kindly enlighten us about journey in physiology education, my perception.
Let me share my screen.
Share.
Can you all see my presentation?
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
Right. Thank you very much, Professor Kusal Das, for your kind invitation for me to give a talk in the research club meeting. And also, I must say that this is not related to research, although I selected on your invitation this topic to talk about. And the other thing, I would like to thank all the distinguished participants, distinguished invitees, especially Professor Hamid, who is the chairperson of this session, and also the Professor Patil and Professor Jyoti, who gave a kind introduction to myself and also about the wonderful situation or the facilities available in your institute for education and research. And also at the same time, I would like to appreciate very much the initiation, the initiated by Dr. Kusal Das to have these research club meetings. So with that brief, this thing, I would like to concentrate on the topic that I selected. It is the journey in physiology education, my perceptions. Can you all hear and see my?
Yes, please go.
Now, during this talk that I am going to give an overview, although the topic that I selected is related to physiology education in my own institute, but I am going to give an overview on Sri Lankan medical faculties, very brief overview, and about their curricula, and a brief history about Colombo Medical Faculty, what are the developments that we had over the years, over the years, in the physiology discipline in the country, and also changes introduced to the medical curriculum that is in our faculty, and about the students' background, the challenges they face when they enter the medical faculty, and also what are the support systems available in our faculty. And I would like to mention about the objectives of the basic sciences stream, and about the teaching learning facilities available in the physiology, that is for physiology, and also what are the assessments that we conduct, what are the different types of assessments we have, and also about student performance monitoring and the coaching facilities available, and finally about how we face the COVID-19 situation, and which led to the new normal situation. So this is the outline of my talk. Now, as you can see in this diagram, so there are 9 provinces in the country. So in these 9 provinces, out of these 9 provinces, except in one, there are at least one medical faculty in each province. And when you consider the Western province, there are 4 different medical faculties in 4 different universities. Starting from the north side of the country, University of Jaffna, that is Faculty of Medicine Jaffna. In the north central, it is the Rajarata University, Eastern University in the Eastern Province, and Wayamba University in the Northwestern Province, and University of Peradeniya, that is in Kandy, that is the Central Province, and Sabaragamuwa University, and University of Ruhuna, that is medical faculty. And it is the only province, is the Uva province, where we don't have a medical faculty in the Uva Wellassa University. And at the moment, we have 18 universities in the country. Out of these 18, we have 11 universities having medical faculties. And this Wayamba University and Sabaragamuwa University, they established medical faculties, that is in 2018, very recent establishment of medical faculties in those 2 universities. Now, to mention briefly about the medical curricula available in these different universities and about the physiology education. I must tell you, because I contacted some people from these representing these different universities to obtain some information for this talk. And some of the information taken from their websites. And it may not be a comprehensive one, but some of the information are included in this table. Now, Jaffna, that is the North University, North Province University, they have a traditional discipline-based curriculum, and it is mostly teacher-centered. And they haven't introduced any integrated teaching or anything. But at the same time, now they are gradually introducing the case-based discussions from the first year onwards, that is including in physiology. In Rajarata, traditional curriculum is there, but no other information is available. In the Eastern University, physiology is included under human biology, that is with anatomy and physiology. It's one department, human biology department. And the physiology teaching is done mostly by the visiting lecturers from other universities, as well as from the doctors working in the hospital, that is the Eastern hospitals. And they have a traditional curriculum. And in Wayamba University, I mentioned that it was established, the medical faculty was established in Wayamba University in 2018. They have 3 phases, that is in the preclinical phase, they have 3 semesters. 3 semesters means 1.5 years. So they have a system-based curriculum. It is very difficult to mention anything about the curriculum as it is a recently introduced one. And also in Sabaragamuwa University, they have a traditional curriculum, and also they don't have enough teaching staff to cover the physiology teaching. And we were invited to do on-site or online lectures, but it is not finalized as yet, our contributions to Sabaragamuwa University. And the physiology teaching is there for 2 years, and they have introduced problem-based learning sessions as well in the first year onwards. And in addition to that, they have student presentations that is in weekly basis. Peradeniya, that is the second oldest medical faculty in the Peradeniya University. They have a system-based curriculum, and basic sciences teaching is for 1.5 years, and substantial amount of time is dedicated in teaching clinical examination techniques, that is for the practical sessions. And Ruhuna, again, traditional curriculum. And there in the traditional curriculum, they had some integration of teaching of neurosciences, that is anatomy and physiology. But with the curricular revisions that they are going to introduce, there will be disintegration of this assessment of the neurology module, that is the neuroanatomy and neurophysiology. And also they have short analytical essays, a project kind of thing that students have to work on. And Sri Jayawardhanapura, again, an integrated curriculum in 3 phases. And the important thing is they have the community health stream and the professional development stream included in the phase 2. In the phase 1, they teach basic sciences. In the phase 2, they have included these new 2 streams, which are useful for students, because my daughter, who is a final year medical student, registered in the Sri Jayawardhanapura University, and they say that this is very important. This professional development stream is very important because they have continuous discussions with the tutor allocated to each and every student, and there is monitoring of their progress of the professional and also the academic developments. And PBS are also included, but they don't have the elective projects as such in the their medical curriculum, but they offer elective projects to foreign students. In the Kelaniya University, they have again an integrated curriculum and physiology in teaching in 5 terms in 10 system-based modules. The Kothalawala Defense, it is the only national military medical institution where they accommodate students, that is military cadets and foreign students. And in addition to the curriculum, medical curriculum they have, these are the other subjects they cover. Additional training on military, aviation, naval, nuclear, trauma and emergency, that is to make people to serve in the tri-forces. So that is the brief overview about the universities, the medical faculty, physiology teaching and the curriculum available in those universities, the medical faculties. What about the Colombo Medical Faculty? So Dr. Kusaldas, hope that you could remember that you came to this institution.
Yeah. I delivered talk also, chair sessions also.
Yes,
Yeah.
And this is the second oldest medical school in Australasia, which was established in 1870. And it is the forerunner in medical education in the country. And over the years, how this development occurs in the Faculty of Medicine, Colombo, because there had been changes in the names, how it is identified, and also about the physiology, the disciplines that were included in the medical curriculum. Initially, at the time of establishment, it was Ceylon Medical School, because Sri Lanka was identified as Ceylon at the initial times. So because of that, it was named as the Ceylon Medical School. That was the only educational institute available in that era. And then it was renamed as Ceylon Medical College in 1880. Then it became a Faculty of Medicine of University of Ceylon, that is in 1942. That is, at the same time, there was establishment of the University of Peradeniya, that is in 1942. So this was University of Ceylon as the first university established in the country. And then it became Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo, that is in 1978. Because there were establishment of different universities, even in Colombo, you must have seen that there are several universities. So with that establishment, so our university became University of Colombo instead of University of Ceylon. And as I mentioned initially, there had been only 6 subjects: physiology, anatomy, pathology, medicine, gyn and obs, and surgery. And in 1949, to the medical curriculum, community medicine had been introduced. Then in 51, forensic medicine, and the biochemistry branch off from physiology, because initially biochemistry was considered under physiology. And similar to that, pharmacology, parasitology, and microbiology, they were included under the discipline of pathology. They also branched off, and the pediatrics and psychological medicine, they were included under medicine. Now there are different disciplines as identified by the specific discipline name. And in addition to that, in 2016, 2 other departments introduced, that is for the contribution to the medical curriculum, that is medical education and the Department of Humanities. What is the vision of this prestigious medical faculty? It is to be a global center of excellence in the education of healthcare professionals, building synergies between education, research, and clinical care in partnership with stakeholders. So in order to achieve that vision, we have a mission that is to improve the health of individuals and communities. It is not only about the individual, but also about the communities, and contribute to the development of medical and health sciences by producing professionals who are competent, compassionate, and caring through excellence in undergraduate and postgraduate education, research, and clinical care. Because we wanted to emphasize about the competence, compassionate, and caring. That is especially with the introduction of the new curriculum. Now, you must have noticed that as it was established in 1870, we have celebrated the 150th anniversary of establishment of this prestigious medical faculty. So we had the medical congress that was held. Luckily, we were able to have the medical congress, that is in February 2020, before the COVID came. And the theme we used for the medical congress was Medicine in Sri Lanka, the Legacy and the Future. So this is the booklet that we produced, the proceedings of the sessions. Unfortunately, because we were having plans to celebrate this 150th anniversary since 2018, and we conducted the medical congress, but the medical exhibition, we were not in a position to conduct it. It was planned from 30th March to for a few days, but it was not held. Now about the physiology, the changes in the physiology discipline over time. I mentioned that it was established, our faculty was established in 1870 as the Colombo Medical School. And also I mentioned that we had 6 subjects at the time of establishment. And the whole medical course duration was 3 years. And there was an expansion of the medical course, the duration, it became 4 years, that is in 1873, within a short period of time. And in 1884, it became a 5-year course. Then after that, physiology, they have changed something, that is in early 20th century, physiology was taught in the 2nd year. Then after that, there was teaching of physiology for 2 years, and also introduction of a professional examination. Until 1994, this 2-year physiology teaching was continued, and the assessment was the second MBBS professional assessment. So this is the point, that is in 1995, we changed the curriculum, that is from traditional teacher-centered curriculum to student-centered curriculum. And there were few changes that we have done in the curriculum after the introduction of this integrated curriculum in 1995, that is from time to time, but we have to limit the teaching and learning of physiology concepts, that is to core physiology, without going into applied physiology, because there is physiology teaching in the applied sciences stream. I will come to that later about the different streams. What were the main features of integrated curriculum when we introduced the integrated curriculum in 1995? That is to move away from didactic teaching. Didactic teaching is an important component in the teacher-centered curriculum. But even after the introduction of integrated curriculum, we cover most of the physiological concepts in lectures. But we didn't move away totally from the lecturing part, but we have some lectures in the sense most of the important things are covered in lectures. And also we paid more emphasis on student-centered learning. So we wanted to give the leadership to students. And integration of the subject content, we managed to get some or develop some integration between subjects, for example, physiology and anatomy, and physiology, anatomy, and biochemistry. Likewise, we wanted to develop some integration, but it was, I am not saying that it is at the optimum level. It was not at an optimal level. And the main feature of the integrated curriculum, which was introduced in 1995, was the introduction of 5 streams, or the teaching and learning processes. Teaching learning contents are categorized into 5 streams, that is with system-based module arrangement. And another important feature is early exposure of students to clinical and community learning, and introduction of behavioral sciences to emphasize ethical principles and professionalism in medical practice. And also another important thing in our curriculum, we have electives. So elective appointment is for about 1.5 months. So students have to engage in a project that is based on their selection, and they have to produce a report, and also finally they have to face a viva examination based on the project that they have conducted. So what were the new teaching learning methods introduced, that is with the introduction of the integrated curriculum in 1995? Small group discussions, PBL sessions, interdisciplinary activities, that is 2 or 3 departments get together doing a session, that is maybe an introductory session. For example, in the respiratory module in the applied sciences stream, I had to do these interdisciplinary activities with the anatomy, that is to introduce the basic concepts related to anatomy and the physiology, respiratory physiology. And also fixed learning modules, films. The students can go and learn from the films, from the information given in the films at any time when they have time. So dramas, debates, poster sessions, field assignments, family attachments, and also projects, models for clinical skills. Skills lab was established. And most of these dramas, debates, posters, field assignments, and family attachments, they are for the community stream teaching and learning activities. And although we introduced the curriculum in 1995, after that also we did certain changes to the integrated curriculum. Initially, at the time of introduction of the integrated curriculum, the biochemistry, anatomy, and physiology were assessed in one paper. All the questions from 3 different departments were included in one assessment, one paper. But the negative part of that one assessment, that some students passed the assessment without having adequate knowledge in anatomy, maybe physiology likewise. So because of that, so we identified that deficiency, and we moved away from the integrated assessment structure in the basic sciences after that. And also in the basic sciences stream, we had another subject called combined subject. Combined subject included pathology, pharmacology, parasitology, and microbiology. So these 4 subjects were taught, that is in the basic sciences stream. So it was removed from the basic sciences stream subsequently, because the students complained that they have a heavy workload, and also they were not concentrating much about the combined subject, but for the other subjects. So we had several discussions, we conducted several workshops, and we decided to remove this combined subject from the basic sciences stream. And with the removal of the combined subject from the basic sciences stream, it was included under 2 modules. Those are called foundation modules to the applied sciences stream, that is to cover paraclinical subjects. And as you can see, when the combined subject was included in the basic sciences stream, the teaching and learning was taken in 4 terms. And then with the removal of combined subject, it became 3 terms, and back to from last year, it came back to 4 terms. And also we have term assessment, that is term-based assessment at the end of each term. And we also moved away from conducting separate distinction examinations, because some of the physiological concepts were taught in the applied sciences stream, especially the endocrine and metabolism module in the applied sciences stream. So endocrine physiology, without covering the endocrine physiology, we could not conduct a distinction examination at the end of the basic sciences stream. So sometimes after the 9th term, or sometimes after the 13th term, we had to conduct the distinction examination. And it is actually the long duration of time, that is from learning basic sciences to cover up of endocrine physiology. And only a few students who sat for the examination, the distinction examination, and because of that we decided to take back the endocrine component of physiology back to the basic sciences. So endocrine physiology from applied sciences stream to the basic sciences stream, that is from last year, because the current batch, that is the first year students, they were enrolled as medical students in 2019. So we teach endocrine physiology, that is from the last year in the sense from the students who enrolled in the last year. And this is the curriculum structure that we have at the moment. In the basic sciences stream, as I mentioned, there is 4 terms of teaching. You can see that there is community stream teaching and learning activities are introduced in the first year itself. And also this is earlier known as the behavioral sciences stream. Now it is renamed as humanities, society, and professionalism stream. It is also starting from the first year itself, and it goes until the end of the clinical sciences stream. So 5 streams: basic sciences stream, applied sciences stream, community, this humanities stream, and also the clinical sciences stream. So we have included some teaching learning slots in the basic sciences stream timetables, that is to develop clinical correlation between the basic sciences learning to the clinical scenarios. Otherwise, the students think that what is the use of learning these basic concepts, and also most of the time they forget about these basic concepts when they go to the clinical, that is the final year, when they do professorial appointments. I would like to mention about the background of our students. Actually speaking, the students who are coming to our faculty, it is the cream of the country because they are the top scorers of the common examination that they have to face to enter the university. They represent all districts in the country, and after facing the common examination that I mentioned, it is a national level examination. And they are multi-ethnic, multi-religious, and different family and financial backgrounds they have. And at the same time, there is a small quota that we entertain that is for foreign students, especially from Bhutan. That is a WHO related project, and also Sri Lankans living abroad. It is the foreign students taken into our curriculum, our faculty is considered as an income generation measure. And the challenges that we face, not we actually, it is the students, because students are coming all over the country, coming from all over the country. And because of this sudden exposure to a language barrier for some students, because the teaching and learning is conducted in English, and some of the students coming from the faraway places, they have a poor English knowledge. So because of that, there is a language barrier. And also the other thing, the social things, they are away from home and also exposure to a new environment. They are challenges for the students. And at the same time, they have financial constraints because their family backgrounds, financial backgrounds are very different. So what are the supporting systems that we have for the students? We conduct an orientation program in the at the inception of the medical curriculum. That is for about 2 weeks. And during this orientation program, we try to orient these students to the medical curriculum, and also we have mechanisms to support students. And English teaching mechanisms also there, that is with the collaboration with the English language unit in the Colombo University, main university. And also we have programs to teach Tamil for Sinhala students, and also for Sinhala students, the Tamil for Sinhala students and Sinhala for Tamil students. And there is a special program running for long years in the faculty, that is on the first day itself, students are allocated to academic staff member in the faculty, maybe 2 to 3 students per member of academic member. Then there is a contact point. If they have a problem during the initial period of the medical curriculum, they can come and discuss with the moral tutor. And if the moral tutor can't solve the problems that they have, so that person can connect the student to another person. For example, when there are financial constraints, that is to the financial assistance scheme, like that, or the language problems to the language unit, like that. So we have different supporting systems. And to support the financial problems that the students have, we have these 3 government scholarships. The monthly stipend is given, and also needy student financial assistance scheme, as I mentioned earlier. And there are book donations that we receive from the UK doctors group, that is Sri Lankan doctors who are working in UK. So they do annually the book donations. Coming to the basic sciences stream, what are the general objectives of the basic sciences stream that we included? It is at the end of the teaching learning activities of the basic sciences stream, students should be able to discuss the normal structure and function of the body, that they should be competent enough to mention about the anatomy and physiology that they have learned during the basic sciences stream time, and also to develop into a self-directed learner. That is to find new information, that work on it, analytical abilities, and also presentation skills, etc., etc. And to integrate basic sciences concepts with pathogenesis of diseases and disorders, which will be useful in the applied sciences stream, and finally in the clinical sciences stream. And to apply basic sciences knowledge to interpret clinical situations. These are the general objectives of the basic sciences stream. Now, although I mentioned the new teaching learning methods that we introduced with the introduction of the integrated curriculum in 1995, I am concentrating again on some of the aspects that is related to basic sciences stream. So small group discussions from the first year onwards, we conduct small group discussions, and also formative assessments. Formative assessments and the VLD sessions, that is about the integrated compact disc to supplement physiology practicals. Those were introduced when I was I was heading the basic sciences stream as the chairperson, that is from 2000, about 2005 to 2008 like. And these formative assessments and these time slots for formative assessments and interactive CD sessions were introduced during that time, during my chairmanship. And weekly reviews in anatomy and introduction to contents in the following week's teaching, that is the anatomy department is conducting. And also again, small group activities in anatomy, they are using dissected specimens, X-ray reports, scan reports, that is to supplement the anatomy teaching and learning. And most of the time during small group activities, the students get together and they interact with each other. So there is some peer teaching and learning. Myself, as a probation lecturer, stepped into the physiology department in 1993. So as I indicated earlier, so at that time, our faculty curriculum was traditional discipline-based curriculum and compartmentalized into preclinical, paraclinical, and clinical sections. And there were student seminar presentations at that time. Specific topics were given, displayed in the notice board for students to select, and they have to do a presentation based on the topic that is taken over by them. And also, one important activity they had during that time is one-to-one discussions. That is, each and every student can go to an academic staff member and discuss some questions displayed in the notice board, and also the questions that they have outside the questions displayed in the notice board, but we don't have the one-to-one discussions at the moment. And learning objectives were provided to students at a nominal fee. A small fee was charged from the students to issue learning objectives at that time. And physiology Viva was there at the second MBBS examination. We don't have Viva now. Dr. Kusaldas, have you visited the student laboratory during your visit to our faculty?
Yes, sir.
We had lunch during the workshop, teaching workshop of SAP at this in this laboratory, I suppose.
Yeah, I visited.
Yeah, and the other thing that I would like to mention from the inception of the faculty, the Ceylon Medical School, until 1987, physiological concepts had been demonstrated to medical students using parts of amphibians, rats and rabbits. Animal dissections were there. So after 1987, this part was not, this was not included in the curriculum. Now there is no more dissections in the physiology curriculum. These are the tracings that are available in the student laboratory. And without discarding the very old, very old instruments and the equipments that we used during that time, ancient time, we have included them with a brief description and the name of the item, we have established a museum, physiology museum. To my knowledge, this is the only physiology museum available in the country. So about the student awareness and access to contents of physiology. In the yesteryears, the students were not aware of the scope and depth of physiology curriculum. And no objectives were given, no learning outcomes were given. And over the time, a lot of changes were taken place. Now, instead of giving the students paying a fee to obtain learning objectives, now we provide a student handbook which includes learning objectives. It is free. And practical handouts were given until 2017, especially for the blood practicals, because we had 4 different practical sessions for the blood physiology of blood, and we provided practical handouts, because otherwise what happens when students come for these practicals, they used to note down all the steps of the test that we used. For example, when we do the blood cell counting, then they wanted to, without concentrating on the demonstration, they wanted to note down all the steps. So although we say that the students, they don't have to remember these steps, but they are students, they note down all the things. And also the protocols and objectives of other practical sessions were displayed on the notice board, that is again until 2017. And we give a stream handbook that is since 2004, because I became the convener of the basic sciences stream in 2003 and introduced this stream handbook that is since 2004, and it is continuing. And we have the learning management system. I can't remember when this was introduced, and all our lecture presentations were uploaded to the learning management system for students to go back and review the things that they learned. And instead of these things, handouts, protocol, objectives, now we have a practical workbook which was introduced in 2018. So this year, we issued the 3rd edition of this practical workbook. Very briefly about the areas covered in physiology and the practicals conducted, that is until 2019. That is following the removal of the combined subject from the basic sciences stream. Hope that you could remember, with the introduction of integrated curriculum, that is in 1995, I mentioned that in the basic sciences stream, in addition to the basic disciplines, anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry, we had the combined subject. Combined subject included 4 different disciplines, that is pathology, parasitology, pharmacology, and microbiology. And after the removal of combined subjects, we reduced the duration of basic sciences stream from 4 terms to 3 terms. And until 2019, with the introduction of the revised curriculum, so we had 3 terms of teaching. These are the areas that we covered in each term. And the second term was quite heavy for students, because several important sections were covered: cardiovascular, respiratory, renal. Those are 3 important sections in the physiology curriculum. It was so heavy. And finally, in the final term, the reproduction, neuro, and the minor areas. And these are the practical sessions that were covered: 4 sessions of blood practicals and nerve conduction demonstrations. there was no time for students to practice by themselves. It is only a demonstration. And ECG pulse BP, that is in the second term, lung function tests, hyperventilation, exercise, and renal concentrating diluting ability, urine deposits examination, and UFR reporting. Those were covered in the second term. And in the third term, that final term of the basic sciences stream for physiology, it is contraceptive methods were organized into a film, that is fixed learning module. So students can go through this, the information given about the different contraceptive methods included in the film, and about the neurophysiology practical. 2 practicals are there, sensory and motor one day, and special sensors the other practical. And again, a revision practical, that is before the final examination, they have time to go through the things that they have learned for practical sessions. And this is for the current batch. This is the revised curriculum that we introduced for the basic sciences stream. I am concentrating on physiology practicals and also about the combined areas, that is anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry covered. So it is the module-based organization. There is in the first module, fundamentals of basic sciences. So second term, locomotor, that is physiology of muscles and the upper and lower limbs for anatomy. And in the third module, blood and lymphoreticular system. Likewise, these things are organized in the module-based system. And I mentioned that we took over the endocrine system, that is from the applied sciences stream back to the basic sciences stream in the 7th module, that is in the 4th term, we call endocrine physiology. And if we consider the physiology practical sessions, there is no physiology practicals in the first module, and also no physiology practical for the 5th module, that is for the gastrointestinal system and the endocrine system. Also, we don't have any physiology practicals. Little bit about the assessments that we conduct. This is the current assessment system. The endocrine system assessment of basic sciences stream is considered as a barrier. So for students, it is a stressful situation. And as we have in the current system, as we have 4 different terms, we have continuous assessments for each and every term. And the number of different assessment methods included, and the number of questions, MCQs, that is for the first term, this is for physiology, and second term we have 20 MCQs with hello.
Important meeting.
Hello. With 3 SCQs in the second term continuous assessment. Likewise, the pattern is same in the continuous assessment 2, 3, and 4. But 1, it is different. We have only 20 MCQs because the amount of teaching in the foundation module is little bit limited in the sense there are important physiological concepts, but the number of lectures that we conduct is compared to other 3 terms is low. And the duration is indicated, and the allocation of marks is indicated here in this column. And in the end of stream assessment, we don't have SCQs, we have only the MCQs and the objective structured practical examination. And this OSPE is a projected OSPE. Previously, we conducted this OSPE examination by organizing 20 different stations. But now we are going to have, for the first time, a projected OSPE for the current batch. And the number of MCQs we are going to have at the end of stream assessment is 60, and OSPE 20 OSPEs. But it's a projected OSPE. And the durations are given, and the allocation from MCQs is 60%, and the OSPI, from the OSPI, it is 40%. Now, if I compare the contributions of the three subjects of the basic sciences stream, anatomy, biochemistry, and physiology. So you can see that there is a difference from the contribution of marks that they get. That is in the first continuous assessment, second, third, and fourth. It is depending on the time allocation for each and every discipline in the basic sciences stream, and also the amount of teaching. You can see in the physiology column that our contribution for continuous assessment 1 is minimal, and the marks allocation is also, the percentage allocation is also low, but the total finally come to about 60%. And the final mark in each subject, that is 100%, from continuous assessments is 60%, and from the end of stream assessment, it is 40%. So this is the final mark for each discipline at the final examination. What happens if there are repeat students? We don't consider the marks contributed by the continuous assessment. No contribution by the continuous assessments. Instead, we have 30 MCQs, 4 SCQs, and 20 OSPIs, projector OSPIs, and the allocation of the marks for different components are given there. I will skip this thing, eligibility for to sit the end of stream assessment. And we do exam blueprinting then and there to maintain a record of the areas assessed and the method of assessment that we used to cover the area, specific areas. And the distinction in physiology, I mentioned initially that we scrapped the distinction examinations we conducted all this time, separate distinction examinations. Instead, distinction is awarded if the student obtains a final mark of 70% or more for physiology in the basic sciences stream. And if I mention a little bit about the administrative structure of the curriculum, it seems to be very complicated, but there is good organization. If you follow all these things, there is very good organization and integration between departments and the other units. From departments, then we have to report to stream and internal quality assurance cell if there are changes that we are going to make to the structures, exam structure, or the teaching and discipline structure, teaching and learning structure. And from the internal quality assurance cell, then it has to be reported to curriculum development and evaluation committee. Then finally it goes to the faculty board. From the faculty board, then through the usual path, that is legislation committee for their approval. From there it is to the university council, then in Senate, then finally the supreme body, that is the University Grants Commission. In addition to this one, right? So there are the other things, that is the curriculum implementation unit and the exam unit. We have to coordinate with all these things, that is the CIU and the exam unit, to smooth running of the curriculum, and also to facilitate teaching and learning and assessments in the basic sciences stream and other streams. So it is necessary to give students an encouragement, and also it is necessary to recognize the performance of good students. So for physiology, we have medals and awards. And initially, when I became the head of the department, this Professor K.N. Senaviratne Memorial Gold Medal for Physiology, it was awarded as the Professor K.N. Senaviratne Memorial Prize. I obtained permission from the family, because this was done by the family, and also the senior academics who organized this K.N. Senaviratne Memorial Prize. And with the approval of the University Senate, I renamed it as Professor K.N. Senaviratne Memorial Gold Medal for Physiology. Without identifying it as a prize, gold medal, when it is called a gold medal, it is more prestigious, there is more value. And these two were introduced or established during my headship, and there were instances where again the Professor K.N. Senaviratne family, they wanted to give a cash award for a good student. This was this is given at the annual sessions of the Physiological Society, and it's Sri Lankan rupees 50,000 to the student top scorer. And the criteria, when I was preparing criteria for the awarding of this Professor K.N. Senaviratne Memorial Award, the family wanted me to reduce the mark limit, because there can be instances where students may not reach up to 70% of marks for the physiology. So they wanted me to have it 65%, that is to award it on annual basis without any interruption in between. And another medal that established during my time, that is Kannangara, Gamini Kannangara Medal for Physiology. It is necessary to have a monitoring system for student performance. And at the same time, not only monitoring, we have to coach students where the students perform very badly. And this system, this exam unit informed moral tutors, that was introduced in 2020, this system, because they have all the details about the moral tutors of the students allocated, and they send a SMS or email indicating the performance of the student. So after that, the moral tutor can contact the student and discuss about their performance and what are the deficiencies and what are the improvements that they have to do. It is a good system. And also the performance at continuous assessment exams at the departmental level, we have discussions. If the student performed very badly, that is, if they score less than 50, or sometimes there are students, they score 0% for the continuous assessment. So we evaluate their performance and we conduct discussions with the students. And also, when there are repeaters after the final examination of the basic sciences stream, we ask them to write answers, past paper questions, and we monitor their writing and answering skills. These are monitored by students themselves who successfully completed the ESA, and also by academics. So then we can identify the deficiency and also tell them what are the deficiencies and how to improve the writing ability. Coming to the last bit of my presentation, this is about the COVID situation. We did not practice any online teaching learning activities to medical students before COVID came. And we took a decision, that is for all the streams, and to shift to online teaching without wasting our time. And we had Zoom lectures. We conducted Zoom lectures as live sessions or Zoom recorded lectures. Or we did PowerPoint recorded lectures and uploaded to the LMS with the lecture handout learning management system, the Moodle platform. And also we conducted Zoom small group discussions. In addition to that, formative assessments, the practical learning environment things, and the new PowerPoint presentations were developed to cover practical sessions. For example, renal practical, we had to compare this for the diluting and renal diluting and concentrating ability, but we didn't have the CD for deposits and urine reporting thing. So we developed a PowerPoint presentation and uploaded to the learning management system. And also we provided clarifications for questions on WhatsApp or via emails to students when they asked us. And on-site teaching for small groups, 20 students at a time, and practical demonstrations with no individual opportunities to practice. Because there was a time where the COVID situation went down and we opened the faculty for students. But at the time we got down only 20 students. And we did the demonstration, especially in the second term this year, that is for the cardiovascular and the respiratory practicals. But we didn't allow them to practice by themselves. And the continuous assessment 2 was conducted once the COVID situation came down. But now the continuous assessment 3, we couldn't conduct. We kept on postponing. Now finally it is scheduled to the last week of December. Hope that we will be able to conduct the continuous assessment 3 in December. And these are the references that I used to prepare this talk. And in summary, so you must have understood that there is a diversity in medical education in the country, because some are practicing traditional curriculum, some are having an integrated curriculum, and the duration is different for the physiology teaching, etc., etc. And also, even in our faculty, the assessment structure is different. Because anatomy is conducting vivas at the end of the teaching learning activities, and we don't conduct vivas. So there is a diversity in the assessment structure as well, depending on the discipline. And at the end of the medical curriculum, the students should have to face a common MCQ paper. That is a common thing that is all over the country, the universities, that they have to, medical students, they have to face a common MCQ paper. And you must have recognized that we have did timely revisions in the curricula to enhance competency in the final product, that is the students passed out from the faculty. And there are different student support systems and recognition of good performance by awarding medals and awards, and how we got used to the new situation. So we have some amount of experience if we face another problem in the future. So with that, I would like to end my talk. And again, I would like to pay my tributes, that is heartfelt gratitude to Professor Kusal Das for inviting me to do this talk at the Research Club session, and Professor Sumangala Patil, who is the convener and the head of the department, convener of the Research Club, and Associate Professor Jyoti, who is the coordinator of Research Club, for inviting me and making all the arrangements for me to do this lecture, and also the participants in the webinar, and the Vice Chancellor and Registrar of the BLDE College, Medical College, for the approval and providing logistics for this talk. Thank you so much for the opportunity given to me.
Thank you very much.
So, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mangala. You have done great job.
Thank you very much, sir.
Excellent way you have represented the Sri Lanka. And I request now the chairperson first. Before that, I would like to inform that Honorable Vice Chancellor of the BL University, Professor M.S. Biradar, he is here with us. And
Namaste, madam. Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste, sir.
Hello.
He is very much with me. Just now he joined, and in his tribe, and it's very lovely to see all of you. And I request first Dr. Chairperson, Dr. Hamid Mubassiri, Professor Mubassiri, please you put your chairperson's comment.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Gunatilaka. I hope I pronounce it properly.
Gunatilaka, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Your
it was
attempt
great.
was good.
Yeah, Gunat Tilaka. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Thank you very much for a very nice presentation and
Thank you.
familiarizing us with the physiological aspects that is being taught at your university and somehow in different parts of Sri Lanka as well. I would like to also thank you, Professor Das and Chancellor of the University for their very kind and tireless efforts in distributing the ideas, sharing the ideas, and doing the thing against the virus that push us somehow to go to quarantines and stay indoor while your activities actually has done the opposite and made the world coming to our world, to our table, our very laptop, and communicate even much more than before the
Yes.
outbreak. It's very fantastic effort, and I do appreciate it very much for what you are doing. Uh, it was great, and I am biophysicist, and I'm doing different thing at the field of nano level somehow, and at the cell and molecular level. One of my first concern is that the physiology somehow possibly changed nowadays, and the information that we had in old time is now differed to the different aspect and different levels, so that the molecular and cellular approaches are more possibly in giving us the information in detail and to understand the mechanism involved. My first question is that how much your system, your education system is based on cell and molecular level. I know that the physician and the physiologists know a lot about the anatomy and physiology at the macroscopic level somehow, at tissue level. But what about cell and molecular level? How much did you put effort in that field?
Because in the biochemistry discipline, mainly they do the biomolecule introduction, and also what are the different molecular mechanisms they teach during their teaching and learning activities. And also we do some of the activities relevant to specific areas. For physiology, even the anatomy, under genetics, they do some of the genetic related information in the teaching learning activities. So I'm not in a position to quantify the amount of contribution, because I don't have that information, such information with me at the moment.
Right. And the other thing, I'm sorry that I'm just possibly taking the Professor Gustavo's time as well as Zoviata. Just a few questions, and then I'll try to involve everybody who is participating. The thing is that apart from biochemistry of living system, now the biophysics of the living system is as such matters. And in terms of physiology, okay, I understand that Huxley model and then electrophysiological aspects are well on their way to be taught. But the thing is that nowadays we know that the physics of the biological system is as important as well, especially when the living system is exposed to different electric, magnetic, and electromagnetic fields because of different sources of the electromagnetic radiation. So to me, it seems that somehow the physiology of living system is not running as in the absence of this field. So how much do you draw the attention of a student to this sort of thing? Because even the cure sometimes comes by magnetic field rather than the chemicals. So they have to know the basics of the electromagnetic, electric, and magnetic aspects.
Yes, especially in the cardiovascular system, we do about the ECG, because there is some relationship between the physics and the physiology. So when we talk about the ECGs, so we mention about the physics or the combination of that discipline. How important is that? And also at the same time, the magnetic things, and the radiological aspects, especially the anatomy department, they show, and the importance of those disciplines are mentioned by using different radiological reports and the scan reports. And even in physiology, now very recently we recruited a radiologist to our department. So now there is integration between anatomy and physiology in order to advance the things that we teach in physiology discipline. So in the years to come, so there will be more contribution of those aspects in the curriculum for physiology aspect.
Right. I just repeat the effect of the magnetic field, and Professor Zubieta is dealing with the effect of altitude on the living system, especially in time of the outbreak. And the thing is that it does somehow help people to be resistant against the virus. Possibly part of it could be the magnetic field at higher altitude or other. I just want to involve him in the discussion and invite him to participate in opening the discussion based on his expertise, please. Professor Zubieta, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Hamid. It is indeed. Thank you very much.
Professor Gustavo, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, is here.
Hello, sir.
I see him. How are you, Professor Biradar? It's wonderful.
Namaste, sir. Namaste. Everything is fine.
Namaste.
It is interesting to hear physiology versus medicine.
Physiology, medicine, biophysicist.
Yes, yes. I hope you have seen our last paper with Professor Kusaldas.
Yeah, I shared.
I saw that. Definitely.
It is going to be a very, very important paper in the next months because of the new aspects it has.
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
So it's a great collaboration between VLD University and our institution, of course.
Yes,
True,
sure.
sir, true,
Yes, that's true. Yes. So I think.
Well, I would like to thank Dr. Gunatilake for the interesting presentation and my admiration for your university institution that has become 150 years old. That is quite a record. History can change so many things through invasions, geographical changes, movements of people. So to sustain an institution for that long in your country is quite admiring. Our institution has become 50 years old this year, so we have to catch up with you in 100 years more. Maybe I won't be around. Maybe I won't be around.
Yeah, I think that Mangala, so, you must help Professor Gustavo how to go in 150 years.
Yes. Well, Dr. Gunatilake, I have to ask you, I was trying to check, you do have a few mountains there.
I didn't get it. Sorry.
I was checking the topography of your country, and I see that you have a bit of mountains there.
Yes.
The highest point is 2,500 meters. It's called the Piduri Patalagaya. Yes.
Yes.
So that is 1,000 meters lower than where I live right now. We live at 3,500 meters. And we have shown that, and it's published at BLD University Journal, we have extended longevity at high altitude. But I don't think it will reach 100 years more for me.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I was telling to Mangla that once Dr. Gustavo comes, he will be asking about the places like a high altitude mountain where I have visited while with you in Colombo. So these are the things I was sharing with you before that to you. Yeah, exactly that happened, and as usual, Professor Gustavo has exactly hit that the point directly. And I think that Professor Gustavo, you can visit Sri Lanka, lovely place, wonderful hospitality, and beautiful university itself, nearly 150 years old, and the medical college is so bright, it is excellent. I think, Professor Hamid, thank you, and let me ask my audiences and the faculty, specifically physiology chairperson and other external, I will ask Dr. Shumangala. Dr. Shumangala?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have any queries with, because you are a chairperson of the university medical school in physiology, same as Dr. Mangala Gunatelake. So please ask, what is your difficulty you can share with her? Or what is your advantage you can tell her?
I thank Dr. Mangala, Madam.
There's a noise.
A little difficulty will clear. A lot of things about curriculum we have learnt from Mangala Madam, what she has enlightened us about that. My one question is, I would like to know what is stream handbook. Madam mentioned stream handbook. So what exactly it consists
Yes,
of?
because we included in the stream handbook the objectives, different teaching and learning methods common to the basic sciences discipline, and also very briefly what are the content areas that we cover in each term with the reference books, and also about the medals and awards that we give to students in 3 different disciplines. Those are the things that we included in the stream handbook. In the physiology handbook, the detailed objectives are included separately. Even for anatomy and biochemistry, they have their own handbooks giving details about the objectives covered in the discipline.
Thank you, ma'am. One more thing, before 1994, the physiology was taught in second phase also, as you were telling. So,
Yes.
how much can we think of doing the same thing in the present scenario, or
no, there is the amount that we teach is reduced because we don't go into depth. Applied applied physiology is not taught now. We teach the core physiological things in the basic sciences stream, because there are instances which will be continued, that is in the applied sciences stream, especially the applied physiology is taught in the in the applied sciences stream under different modules, because they also continue as respiratory system module, cardiovascular system module, like that. So because of that, there is a continuation of the things that we taught. Only the core content is taught in the basic sciences, applied sciences, the applied physiology is covered.
is there any?
I have one. Yeah, go ahead, please.
No, sir.
No,
Please
go ahead,
continue.
please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you. I have, being in the eastern part of the globe, close to China and India, one of its medicine that is applied there is Chinese medicine, acupuncture and others. Don't you have any subjects addressing these matters? Something to, because we don't know a lot about the, say, telepathy, for example. You mentioned homeopathy, but telepathy, for example, hypnotism, and then acupuncture or Chinese medicine. Don't you think those things should be included in the physiology?
At the moment, we don't have those things included in the physiology discipline, but we make students aware of those things, especially under the behavioral sciences stream. So we mentioned about the availability of other the systems of medicine in the behavioral sciences stream. Then how to respect other ways of the treating patients like that. So they learn during the behavioral sciences stream.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mangala.
Dr. Satish,
Yeah.
I think if you have a question.
Yeah. Anybody is having any questions? Please unmute and ask question. If anyone want to ask questions to Dr. Mangala, please unmute and ask the question. Anyone? Dr. Shaheen?
Dr. Natalie Zubieta is there too as well. The
Dr. Natalia, you are here?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, do you like to ask?
Okay, good to have you here again and hear from you after months' time. So please go ahead.
Thank you so much.
You women understand each other better. Possibly you will have some better question than us.
No, actually, it's quite interesting to listen to her. No, and I was just thinking about this also, about this applied sciences. It's how it's such a strange thing that all around the world we are so far ahead in relationship to our ancestors in knowing many things, no, because the knowledge has been adding up every year, every month, every cycle, everything, but still we don't do applied sciences too much, and that's an interesting thing. I think it also has to do with issues with ethics and things like that. No, in my country we don't do applied physiology either. We have done some in our institute, but it's not a very widely accepted or promoted area, and I think it is a bad thing. I think we have to go deeper into this, because I don't think it is a good thing to just follow manuals without understanding what you're doing. And particularly in medicine, for instance, this COVID outbreak, what it has brought to us is poor understanding about hypoxia, for instance, no, and other things, and it has to do with the fact that the new generations don't really understand how things work. They are more interested in knowing, classifying, and fixing, but not really understanding, because when you understand, you might find variables. And so the new generations don't know much about this, and also I think the physiology departments are not very widespread around the world, in the sense of it's not, because it's a basic science, it's not seen as a very useful thing anymore. And I think that is sad. I think it's like the relationship between science and philosophy. A lot of people think that science is more advanced than philosophy, but I believe philosophy is the one that questions constantly science. So it's important to always have it there, so you can always improve and change when it's necessary as time goes by. So I think that's what I would like to say about this. I want to congratulate this wonderful person from Sri Lanka. I can't see her name. It's Gutilaka, something like that. Gunatilaka. Yes, I apologize. It's so different. First time I hear such names, but how wonderful to listen to you. How beautiful to be connected.
Right. Thank you so much.
Video is
yes.
off.
Yes. What happens is that I'm moving around, but
thank you.
But in any case, thank also. Kusal Das, also say hello to Biradar, to Jyoti, everybody. Thank you so much for bringing us.
Thank you, Natalia, for wonderful interpretations and encouraging talk. And we always feel proud of you, and specifically young generations. Many of my students, my colleagues were very younger in age, and physiology they took as a profession for teaching and doing research, and most of our departmental faculty at good numbers, they have become the MD and PhD together. And it's a very strong department in India as such, because having the two of the distinct advanced laboratory center for learning. So, and also a lot of collaboration in MOU we are having with all part of the globe, including Professor Gustavo and Natalia. So it's a really wonderful, and hope that Sean will be connecting with Dr. Hamid Mubashiri with the collaborations. And so we are going for in a different way. So objective of our Department of Physiology, as Dr. Shumangala in addition has said, proudly said, that we have a quite good number of faculty and student ratio is quite high, but we are also having equally competent research, and that comes last 5 years, every month one publication in the Scopus journal. That is an average, on an average. This is very rare as such in concern with many of the medical schools, not only in India, but also in the abroad. I think that in this setup, this is one of the unique. So credit goes to all the faculty members of BLB Physiology Department as such, and supporting faculty members from other department, and very encouraging. Honorable Vice Chancellor, he himself came for a few minutes to interact with you, because when he know that his old friend Professor Gustavo and Professor Hamid is here, immediately he rushed and came here for interacting. And also we have a wonderful Dean of Faculty of Medicine, with a very, very vibrant and very dynamic as such. So things are moving very fast. But I can see the faster moving and waiting for more. And we invite Dr. Mangala to be visiting here with us and enjoy certain time with our colleagues, and hope that in 2020, actually we're supposed to be meeting here in SARC conference, but it is unfortunate we have to stop it because of the COVID. So it will be done. So now the time has come, I hand over the mic to coordinator, Dr. Jyoti Khodnapu. Over to Jyoti.
Thank you so much. Now I request Professor Hamid Muzabir sir to present. Sir,
Yeah,
Hamid sir
go
to
on.
present. Hamid
Yes,
sir
okay.
to present certificate to Professor Mangala Gunatilake ma'am.
It is a virtual,
Okay,
so Hamid, you have to
virtually.
just say.
It's a virtual certificate.
Okay,
Professor Hamid,
this
you
is
just say a
virtually.
few words, concluding
I am
words.
honored to hand it to you for your very nice presentation, and thank you very much for your time and dedication to the field of physiology. And
Right.
I believe that COVID-19 showed us that we have to know a lot about the physiology at cell and molecular level. And I hope your effort, the effort of Professor Das, Professor Zubieto, and others will shed further light on this matter, and we'll learn more about the mechanism involved and to tackle with the virus and make the people less suffer from this pandemic. Once again, thank you very much for your nice presentation and familiarizing us with the education in physiology in Sri Lanka.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Right.
Now I request Dr. Pallavi Kante to present vote of thanks.
Good evening to everyone.
Loud.
I, Dr. Pallavi, on behalf of Department of Physiology, Shri B.M. Patil Medical College, Vijaypur, express my sincere thanks to Professor Mangala Gunatilake, Department of Physiology, Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting the invitation and enlightening over journey in physiology education and your perception. I immensely thankful to Professor Hamid Mubashiri from University of Tehran, Iran, for accepting to chair 40th Research Club. Thank you, sir. My heartfelt thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor and Dean Faculty of Medicine for joining us this research club virtually. And my gratitude to Professor Gustavo Zubieta, Dr. Natalia Zubieta, Dr. Shahin, Dr. Satish Dipankar, and all the faculties from Shri B.M. Patil Medical College in Vijaypur for joining us virtually. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Kusardas.
Thank you.
I thank a lot for the kind invitation. And,
it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you. Be in touch. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
We'll end the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye,
Be safe
Hamid.
and have a nice
Goodbye.
time.
Thank you,
Good luck,
Natalia.
everybody. Thank you so much
Bye.
for everything.